Am I the a-hole for refusing to train my replacement after being passed over for a promotion? So this just happened about 2 weeks ago, and I'm still kind of spinning about it. I, 29F, have been working at the same mid-sized logistics company for almost 6 years now. I started as a customer service rep and worked my way up to team lead over the last couple of years. I've always been the go-to person. I train the new hires, I step up when someone calls out, I've covered for managers on vacation, etc. I was told directly by my supervisor, Jenna, mid-40SF, that I was on track for the next available supervisor position. She even had me shadowing her for a couple of months, running meetings, handling scheduling conflicts, basically doing 80% of her job. I thought it was a done deal. Then, about 3 weeks ago, the company posted the internal job listing for the open supervisor role in our department. I applied, obviously. So did a couple of others, but they were newer or didn't have the same experience. Fast forward a week later, I get called into HR. Not to offer me the job. Nope. To let me know they picked Kevin, 33M, a guy who's been here 13 months. Not only that, but they want me to train him on the systems, processes, and basically how to do my job, plus the parts he doesn't know yet from Jenna's side. I was stunned. I asked straight up why I wasn't chosen, and the HR lady gave me a BS line about diversifying leadership styles and fresh perspectives. Jenna wouldn't even look me in the eye when I passed her in the hallway. So I said no. I told them I'd be happy to document my own role as team lead if they needed it, but I wasn't going to train someone they leapfrogged over me. I didn't yell or make a scene. I just said it calmly and professionally. Since then, I've been getting the cold shoulder from management, and even a few coworkers are saying I'm being bitter and unprofessional. Kevin's been trying to ask me questions like it's all cool, but I've just told him politely that I'm not the right person to be training him. I'm not trying to sabotage anyone, I just feel like I got played, and I'm not going to help the company make that slap in the face easier for them. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for refusing to train the guy they picked over me? So after I told HR and management that I wouldn't be training Kevin, they started acting real weird. Suddenly, I was left out of meetings I used to run. My access to some systems got mysteriously restricted by accident. And Jenna? Still can't look me in the eye. It's like I don't exist anymore unless something breaks and they want me to fix it. Kevin, for his part, is clearly overwhelmed. He's a nice enough guy, I don't even blame him, but the dude doesn't know what he's doing. He's constantly on Slack or poking his head around my cubicle asking how to handle stuff like routing orders or calming down a pissed-off client. I keep repeating, sorry, I've already let management know I'm not the designated trainer on this. You might want to follow up with Jenna or HR. It gets worse. Last Thursday, Jenna pulls me into a check-in meeting. She tries the nicey-nice approach first. We value your leadership. Your attitude is usually so professional, etc. Then she drops this gem. I need you to be a team player and support Kevin. If you don't want to train him, that's your choice, but just know that how you conduct yourself during this transition will be remembered. Read, do it, or we'll screw you later. I told her, as calmly as I could, if you wanted me to act like a supervisor, you should have promoted me like one. She ended the meeting early. Now here's the kicker. Yesterday, one of my close coworkers, let's call her Mel, told me Jenna has been floating the idea of restructuring the team lead role entirely. Which, surprise, that's my position. Basically, instead of having a team lead, they want to distribute the responsibilities across all team members to promote more collaboration. Which is total BS because none of them want to take over the stuff I've been handling solo for years. So now I'm seriously wondering if they're trying to push me out without firing me. I've started documenting everything. Every interaction. Every Slack message. I even emailed myself the original internal job posting and my application receipt with timestamps. A few people at work are still whispering that I'm being petty or sabotaging Kevin, but most of my team, the actual reps I work with, are low-key pissed for me. One of them even said, if you leave, this whole thing falls apart. I'm not sure what my next move is, but I've started quietly updating my resume. I've also been talking to a friend who works in HR at another company just to feel out my options. Still asking, am I the a-hole for sticking to my decision and not making this easy for them? So I've been playing it cool at work, doing my job, staying professional, not engaging in any drama. I've continued refusing to train Kevin, and I've politely redirected him every time he asks. I also still haven't gotten a single official task reassignment, by the way. They just sort of expect me to keep doing everything I used to do, while Kevin flounders and Jenna pretends like it's all under control. Now, here's where things start going off the rails. On Monday, Kevin messed up. Bad. He approved a shipment without getting the required sign-off from legal, and it triggered a compliance audit. The client was furious. This was the kind of mistake that could cost the company the account and a lot of money. I wasn't involved at all. I had flagged the issue in the system like I always do, but it got ignored. Apparently, Jenna had told Kevin to just push it through. Tuesday morning, there's a giant fire drill. Suddenly, I'm being CC'd on everything again. Jenna pops by my desk, all smiles, asking if I could help walk Kevin through the correct escalation protocol. I just said, "You'll want to check the internal training materials. Those should cover it," and turned back to my screen. That afternoon, HR calls me in. They say they've received reports that I'm creating a hostile work environment by being intentionally uncooperative. I ask for specifics. They say it's about my refusal to support a smooth transition. I ask if I violated any policy. They say, not technically. I ask if I'm being written up. They say, not at this time. Okay then. I calmly let them know that unless and until I'm given an updated job description, title, and pay grade reflecting training responsibilities, I won't be taking on duties outside my current role. Especially not for someone who leapfrogged me for a position I was explicitly told I was being prepared for. I also mentioned I had full documentation of my original role, performance reviews, and communication with Jenna and HR regarding the promotion. They went very quiet after that. Now here's where the karma hits. Wednesday, I get a call from a former manager who left the company last year. She now works for a competitor. She says she saw my LinkedIn update, yep, I finally made my job hunting public, and asks if I'd be open to interviewing for a senior coordinator role. More pay, full remote, and a straight path to management. I interviewed Thursday. I got the offer this morning. I haven't told anyone at my current job yet, but the timing is poetic. Friday afternoon, Jenna finally came to my desk and said, "So, we were thinking of making you a kind of informal mentor to Kevin. No title change, but maybe we can revisit your growth plan in the new year." I just smiled and said, "Thanks, but I won't be here in the new year. Gonna submit my 2 weeks on Monday." I could go scorched earth, but honestly, they're not even worth the energy. I'll leave my documentation nice and tidy for whoever takes over, just not Kevin. Let Jenna train him herself. So, I officially submitted my 2-week notice the Monday after my last post. I handed it directly to HR, kept it short and polite, and didn't include a reason. I didn't owe them an explanation, and honestly, I figured my departure would speak for itself. Let's just say, the fallout was glorious. Immediately, Jenna tried to do damage control. Suddenly she wanted to meet, to talk through my future, emphasis on my as if I didn't just resign. She started throwing out vague promises. "We can fast-track you into a leadership pipeline. Let's revisit your compensation." This was all just a misunderstanding. I told her, as calmly as I could, I needed that support 6 weeks ago. Not now. Kevin looked like he wanted to melt into the floor every time we crossed paths. I don't think he ever wanted the promotion in the first place. He got set up to fail, and it's showing. He even apologized to me, privately, and said, "I think they should have promoted you." I just told him I hoped he'd advocate for himself better than I did. I meant it. Now, let me tell you about my exit email. I kept it classy. Sent to my team, CC'd Jenna and HR. It said, "After nearly 6 years, I've decided it's time to move on to new challenges. I've been grateful for the opportunity to grow here and to work with so many talented, hardworking people. To my team, you made the hard days worth it. Keep holding the line. Documentation and process guides are all saved in the shared drive. Best of luck and thank you. No pettiness. No drama. Just a professional mic drop." The DMs and texts started rolling in immediately. Apparently, after I left, the team fell apart. Nobody wanted to pick up my old responsibilities, shocking, and Jenna was scrambling to figure out who could cover the gaps. Kevin tried to run a client meeting solo and apparently got roasted. 2 reps on my old team have already scheduled career development chats with HR, which I can only assume is code for, "How do I get out too?" As for me, I started the new job last week. Fully remote. Higher pay. Actual training. My manager respects my experience and checks in regularly without micromanaging. It's night and day. And the best part? Yesterday, I got my first ever formal leadership title, Operations Supervisor. I didn't have to train someone who leapfrogged me. I didn't have to beg for recognition. I just had to walk away from a place that didn't see my worth and find one that does. So, was I the asshole for refusing to train my replacement? Reddit, thank you for confirming what I suspected all along. No, I was just the only one in that office with a spine. If this story kept you hooked, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more.